National Fantasy Football Draft Day 2019. Do you want to win some money, or do you want to avoid being punished? Top 20 fantasy football picks coming up next. Let's get started with the ground rules here. This is a PPR format, meaning point per reception. It's going to be heavily emphasized on position rank, receptions, touchdowns, usage by team, and round value. In my top 20, I have 9 receivers, 8 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, and 1 tight end, and a couple of honorable mentions. Get your draft board out and get ready for the top 20. Coming in at number 20 is Nick Chubb, running back from the Cleveland Browns. Chubb's looking to have a huge year this year in his second year. He will be the feature back, and he will not have to share touches with any other running back for 8 games. Number 19 is Tyreek Hill, receiver from the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill should be a huge factor in the Chiefs' offense, and he will not be suspended. Number 17 is Antonio Brown. He's on a new team, but you can pretty much bank on him getting 100 catches regardless of who's throwing him the ball. At 16 is the first quarterback. It's Matt Ryan from the Atlanta Falcons. This guy averages nearly 4,000 yards every year. He is a touchdown machine, and he is durable, so he ranks 5th for most consecutive games started by a quarterback. Number 20 is Travis KELCE, tight end from the Kansas City Chiefs. KELCE is basically a wide receiver disguised as a tight end. Chiefs are a very pass-heavy offense, and they score a lot of touchdowns. And KELCE is averaging over 100 targets a year. Number 14 is Adam THIELEN from the Minnesota Vikings, wide receiver. THIELEN had a huge breakout year last year, and he is involved in a pass-heavy offense. He had 9 touchdowns. And over the last 3 years, he's averaging over 100 targets. 153 last year. Number 13 on the list is ALVIN KAMARA from the New Orleans Saints, running back who also catches a ton of passes. He has 194 rushing attempts last year. That should go up with the departure of Mark Ingram. He also had 18 touchdowns and 81 receptions for a running back. Number 12 is JUJU Smith-Schuster, receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, he had 111 receptions as the number 2 receiver in Pittsburgh. Should become the number 1 target in Pittsburgh now with Antonio Brown gone. So all of his numbers should go up. Number 11 is wide receiver Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Always a big producer here. He had 1,524 receiving yards last year. I think he should have more targets this year due to wide receiver departures from the team. And it is a pass-heavy offense with Bruce Arians manning the And now we've reached the top 10 PPR fantasy players. Number 10 is wide receiver Mike Thomas from the New Orleans Saints. Mike Thomas is a receptions monster. He is consistently a big part of a pass-heavy Saints offense. Number 9 is a wide receiver DAVANTE Adams from the Green Bay Packers. Here's another guy who's going to benefit from a few departures from the wide receiver corps, and he is a big part of a pass-heavy offense. 111 receptions in 2018 as a number 2. Now, number 8 is a little bit of a risk with him holding out. EZEKIEL Elliott, running back from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if he does play, 1,434 rushing yards in 2018, 9 touchdowns, and he had 77 catches. This guy ends up playing, he will be averaging over 100 scrimmage yards a game. Number 7 is Julio Jones, wide receiver from the Atlanta Falcons. This guy would be even higher, but he does not average high enough touchdowns. He does, however, catch a lot of passes, and he is very heavily involved in a pass-heavy offense. Number 6 is David Johnson, running back from the Arizona Cardinals. This guy last year was very underutilized. However, he did pick it up in the second half of the season and ended up getting 10 touchdowns. He had 76 targets in 2018 and should factor in both the rushing and receiving game for the Cardinals this year. Number 5 is CMAC, Christian McCaffrey, running back from the Carolina Panthers. This guy may as well be a receiver, dressed as a running back. 1,098 rushing yards in 2018 with 107 receptions for a running back. 13 touchdowns, averaged well over 100 yards from scrimmage per game last year. Number 4 is Todd Gurley from the LA Rams, running back. The question here is, can he stay healthy? If he does, there's nobody better in fantasy football. Monsters in every category: 1,251 rushing yards, 21 touchdowns, 59 receptions, and the guy sits out in the fourth quarter most times because they're blowing out the other team. Number 3 is wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins from the Houston Texans. Well, the Texans are going to have to be a pass-heavy offense this year with the loss of Lamar Miller. Even with that being said, Hopkins still last year 1,572 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, 115 receptions, and a whopping 163 targets. Number 2 is running back SAQUON Barkley. This guy should probably be number 1. 1,307 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns, 91 receptions. This guy averaged 126 scrimmage yards per game in 2018, and with all of the wide receiver suspensions, departures, and injuries from the Giants, he should be even more of a factor in the offense. That leaves the number 1 fantasy player for 2019. It's quarterback. Normally a quarterback does not go number 1, but Patrick Mahomes was out of this world. 50 touchdowns last year, rushed for an additional 272 yards, over 5,000 passing yards, and I can't see that decreasing in 2019. If you want to win your fantasy league, be bold and grab this quarterback as soon as you can. Wait a second. If you were paying attention, you might have noticed that we missed number 18. That would be James Conner, running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Recap: Top 20 fantasy players 2019. Number 20, Nick Chubb. Number 19, Tyreek Hill. Number 18, James Conner, who we skipped. Number 17, Antonio Brown. 16, Matt Ryan. 15, Travis KELCE. 14, Adam Thielen. 13, Alvin Kamara. 12, JUJU Smith-Schuster. 11, Mike Evans. 10, Mike Thomas. 9, Davante Adams. 8, Ezekiel Elliott. 7, Julio Jones. 6, David Johnson. 5, Christian McCaffrey. 4, Todd Gurley. 3, DeAndre Hopkins. 2, SAQUON Barkley. And number 1, surprisingly, a quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Good luck this year.